Alright guys, welcome back. For this video, we're going to be focusing on the first of the two types of sequences you're going to see on the ACT. There are two main sequences, arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences. We need to be aware of how to deal with both of them, and they'll both have programs. For an arithmetic sequence, basically that's going to be any kind of a pattern of numbers where going from one number to the next, you're always adding or subtracting the same value over and over. So if we were to look at our worksheet here, this is going to be under the arith category of our worksheet. Question number 1 describes a scenario where we're interested in a pattern of numbers that goes 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. Because we're adding 2 every single time, that would be considered an arithmetic pattern. Now, in this particular question, you can read it to yourself if you need to. They want us to basically take the first 7 numbers in this pattern and add them together. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a terribly difficult thing to do, and we could definitely do it by hand, but adding the first 7, no big deal. Adding the first 70, that would be a headache. And that's why it's going to be helpful to know how to use our program. So if you go ahead and open up your program list, make sure you've gone ahead and run your ACT setup programs recently. We do need to do that. But we're going to go find the one called Arithseq. This stands for an arithmetic sequence. And if we run it, they're going to tell us in the arithmetic sequence, as an example, if you're given 2, 6, 10, 14, 18, the first term is considered to be 2. The difference between the terms is a positive 4. Now I put a plus there. You won't have to do that in the program, but just know that's the number. So the arithmetic sequence is going to ask what's the first term. You do need to have the first term. So if you have a pattern where you only know like the third and fourth term, you need to work backwards and find the first term. So in question number 1, our first term over here is going to be that 1. So I press 1, I press enter. They want the difference between terms. Again, back to question number 1 in the green, we can see that the difference between terms is a positive 2. We do not need to put plus 2. Don't put plus 2. Just put normal old 2. If it was a going down, you would use a negative. Keep in mind the negative is not the minus button over here near the 6. The negative is going to be below the 3. So if this was a negative 2, you put the negative below 3 and then the 2. But again, ours is positive, so I'm going to go ahead and just put normal old 2, press enter. And this question wants us to add up the first 7 digits. So the number of terms we want is 7. And as you can see, when we do that, the 7th number in the pattern is a 13. Sometimes questions will ask for that. And then the sum of the first 7 terms is 49, which is the answer that we're after. So hopefully you guys can see arithmetic sequences are really quite simple to do with the calculator. I do want to show you guys an example of like what I would call a hard one, and that would be question number 4 on your worksheet. So they say the sum of the first 30 positive integers is 465, which I say, cool story, bro. I don't need to know that. Which of the following is the sum of the first 60 positive integers? If we think about it, the first 60 positive integers are 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 60. So if I want the sum of those numbers, that's just adding those up. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus blah 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 all the way up to plus 60. So that's an arithmetic sequence with the first term being 1 and a common difference being positive 1. Let's see if we can find the sum on our calculators. So I'm running the arith sequence program. The first term was 1, the common difference between terms is a positive 1, and we want 60 terms. So nobody's surprised when the 60th term is 60, but the sum of the first 60 terms is 1830. So hopefully you guys can see when it comes to arithmetic sequences, it's not that bad. In another video, we'll be talking about the geometric sequences, but that really rounds things out for this one. So hope you learned something, and we'll see you in the next one.